This channel is proudly sponsored by Dead Tree Studios, the publishers and developers of Dames of Asstoria, a tabletop RPG where you play as monster girls, experiencing high adventure in a world that doesn't fully accept them. They have recently released the Whispers of Copperich adventure module. You will find all of the links in the description and in the pinned comment. Hi! Welcome to this part of my review featuring the Goblin Slayer TRPG. If you haven't seen the other parts of my review, featuring this tabletop RPG based on the popular fantasy series, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time we are going to talk about the Game Master section of the book. This section is a bit of a mixed bag. There are a few good things, such as telling you what the Game Master does in general, how it's important to read the rulebook, what is a Game Master again in general terms, and when it comes to preparing the adventure, you also have details on game progression. There are also details that compare the original light novel, manga, anime series, etc. of Goblin Slayer with the tabletop RPG experience. Are you going to be running your campaign with typical RPG names? Or are you going to handle it as the original series, such as instead of saying Joe Jefferson, you're going to be calling your character Village Chief? Instead of being called Danathiel Alluvial, now your character is called Elf Archer. So it's quite common in the Goblin Slayer anime, manga, etc. that the characters refer to each other in terms of their profession or their trade. There are also details covering how graphic your games should be. As many of you know, some very explicit things happen in the Goblin Slayer light novel, manga, etc. So you need to really make sure that your players will be able to stomach that explicitness. Definitely have your session 0 to see if everyone is on board with representing that. Or if you want to handle things a bit more toned down, it's all up to you. Now, the things that I do not like of this initial part of the section is that they tell you that the Game Master controls the story. You are not telling a story about the player characters, you are not telling a story about the game world. You are experiencing the game world as if it were actually real. You are not going to be saying, oh, Red Archer went into the castle and he killed the many foes that appeared in front of him, etc. No. You're going to be describing your actions and reactions within the game world. Maybe you will need to roll some dice to resolve those actions, but things will happen as if you are actually there, interacting with the game world, not telling a story. And the Game Master shouldn't be controlling that story, because otherwise you're going to be railroading the entire thing. You're going to be taking away the free will of the player characters. The other thing that I do not like is that they tell you that the Game Master should answer questions. You're not going to be having an out-of-character conversation with a Game Master that doesn't exist in the game world. If you want to figure out something about the game world, roleplay. Instead of saying, oh, Mr. Game Master, what is inside the cabin over there? No. I walk up to the cabin's window and I take a look inside the cabin. Or I cautiously approach the cabin window as silently as possible and peek inside. Maybe you will need to make a roll. Maybe not. Maybe it will be an automatic action or success. But every single detail, every single piece of information can be obtained through roleplay. I look at the banner to see its color. I pick up the strange sphere to examine it. I examine the wall looking for strange symbols. Everything can be obtained through roleplay. I try to recognize the man in front of me. I think back to see if I have seen those symbols before. It's all about roleplay. There is no need whatsoever to have an out-of-character conversation with a Game Master that doesn't exist within the fiction. So if you do that, you're going to be ruining the immersion of the game. And you won't be playing a role. You will be having an out-of-character conversation between a player and a Game Master that do not exist in the game fiction. When it comes to the resolution of the rolls, that is understandable. That is the only way to communicate the results of the dice rolls, etc. But everything else, handle it in character through roleplay. And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part we are going to continue with this Game Master section, featuring things such as session management. So this section is pretty lukewarm, not satisfying. There are a few useful bits, but for the most part it is the most non-roleplay conductive section of the book, and that's pretty disappointing. Thank you for watching this part of the review. Don't forget to leave a like, a comment and subscribe. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, you can do so by becoming a member by using the super thanks button, or take a look at the pinned comment below. This has been Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. I am currently unavailable for professional sessions, but I will put my contact information in the description in the pinned comment for when I am available again. And remember, it is better to roleplay and fail in character than not to roleplay and fail as a player. Once again, thank you and see you later.